Hi everybody, in today's video I'm going to be walking you through a makeup look that I created for a photo shoot for a magazine called Today's Bride. This is the magazine right here. I did not do makeup for the cover, but I did makeup for, I think it's a 4 or 5 page beauty focused story that was inside the magazine. We have Cleo joining us again this week. Cleo is the actual model that I created the look for originally for the shoot. So you'll be able to see in this video what the makeup looks like in real life versus what it looks like in the photos. We had a full team for the shoot, so photographer, stylist, hairstylist, and I'm going to provide links to everybody's portfolio so you can check out their work as well. They're all awesome. And because we had such an amazing team and really great models, this is just another reason why this was my favorite photo shoot of 2017. It's also nice to have your work in a printed magazine that you can go to the store and buy. This is a really rare occurrence nowadays because everybody is publishing now online and not as much in print. So it is nice when you can get your work in an actual magazine, because I'm pretty sure this type of thing is going to be extinct soon. So really cool to be able to go in and buy your work in a store. It hasn't happened to me very often in my career. I'm going to quickly show you the photos from the magazine. So we had 3 models for this photo shoot, and with each model we did 2 looks, whether it was a hair change or a subtle makeup change. Here's Cleo, who's our model. That's one of her looks. Those are our other 2 models, and then we had a second look, and that's Cleo's second look here. And this is my favorite photo of Cleo from this shoot, so I'm glad they chose that one. The idea for this photo shoot was to present bridal makeup with a little bit more of an editorial feel. So the makeup had to be really modern, clean, and the other interesting challenge that we had is that with this photo shoot and with the layout in the magazine, they were going to be showing tips about how to achieve this look. So the makeup looks that I had to do for this photo shoot had to be beautiful, but they also had to look like you could possibly do them at home or inspire you to feel like you could do them at home. So that was another challenge with this shoot. The other thing is that we had 3 different models. When you are doing a shoot like this, or when you're doing a more editorial focused photo shoot, if you're doing multiple makeup looks, you need to make sure that when people see the shoot, it all looks like part of the same story. The looks have to be different and unique, but they can't be too far off what the main concept of the story is. And that is really something that is important to remember when you're out there on your own photo shoots or jobs. When you are creating these stories, things have to feel the same. The other thing that was important with this beauty story, because we had 3 different models and because the idea was to present something simple and fresh and clean, I had to make sure the makeup looks suited each of the models. So even though I had ideas for each of the looks that I wanted to do for this photo shoot, I had to make sure that they were complementary to each model, especially since the looks were supposed to be really clean and fresh and appear effortless. And this is something that you need to do in your own work. If you have something in mind, if you are given a theme or a concept, you need to make sure that the look that you want to do is something that is going to be complementary to your model. At the end of the day, if they don't look good, your photo isn't going to look good. So that was another additional challenge with this photo shoot. Another important thing to consider when you are shooting is who is shooting the photos. You need to play to your photographer's strengths. Carlos and Elise do amazing beauty work. They shoot skin really well. So with Cleo's makeup look for the story, I knew that skin is something that I wanted to do a really great job on, and I wanted it to be a really important part of the makeup looks for this shoot. I want to pull up Cleo's pictures from the Today's Bride editorial so you can see what's happening, and then we'll get into the makeup application. So if we look at the 2 photos, you can see the skin right away is something that you notice. I knew that we were going to be keeping Cleo's hair natural, and I knew that we might do a headpiece. So I didn't want to have anything that was contradictory to the natural vibe of her hair. So nothing really hard on the face. Cleo's got very sharp features, so she has a very defined jaw, she has a very defined cheek. So any hard contouring is not something that was gonna look good for me, and it's definitely not gonna look good on her. So you can see the whole vibe of the 2 looks that we did on Cleo is something that is very soft, natural, clean. Whoever is looking at this magazine can flip through and say, you know what, I think I could see myself in this type of look. It's not too out there, and it looks like something I might be able to create myself. One thing that I wanted to note before we start the actual tutorial, I used some Sephora brand products for this makeup application. I ended up actually breaking one of the palettes, so I'm not using any Sephora brand stuff in this video. The other thing that I wanted to do with this video is show you a bridal look that you can actually use for a bride, a real client. So Cinema Secret's really long wearing foundation, and the way that I'm doing Cleo's makeup in this video will definitely hold up for a bridal makeup application. The only thing is at the end, you can probably add a setting spray if that's something that you want to do. So I did want to make this video valuable in a couple of ways for you. Just a reminder of where we left off from last week's video. This is Cleo's skin with the foundation already on, the Cinema Secrets foundation. I only at this point have powdered underneath the eyes, so the rest of the skin is not powdered yet. For this makeup application, I started with Cleo's cheeks. I think she has amazing cheekbones, and sometimes with these beauty stories, I don't do things according to plan. I just like to start on features that stand out to me, and to me, Cleo's cheeks and her skin I think were beautiful, so that's why I started with that. I'm starting with an RCMA cream blush. For beauty stories, I do like to layer products. I find they show better on camera, so you'll see me move to a powder blush on top of the cream. I'm gonna set her T-zone with a little bit of dark blot powder from MAC just to keep that shine down. I do wanna make sure though not to apply this on her cheeks. I do want her cheeks to have that very soft glow, and I'll show you how I achieve that in just a minute. So I'm just buffing this on with a small brush so I can be careful about where I'm applying the blot powder. I'm setting the rest of her foundation with Laura Mercier translucent setting powder. This powder gives a really beautiful finish on camera, and it works really well in real life to set foundation. I'm using this powder just outside of the T-zone because I want to preserve the natural finish of the Cinema Secrets foundation, and I want to make sure that her skin is not over powdered for the photo shoot. So I'm going to make sure to set the rest of the face, the eyelid, the brow, so I can then go on with the rest of the look. Prepping the brows for brow powder, I'm using the Anastasia as usual. You can already see that Cleo's brows have a great shape because her hair is going to be natural, because we're gonna probably be adding a hair piece for this photo shoot, and also because we want the makeup to look as clean and natural as possible. I like to go in with a brow powder, and this is one of the main reasons why I love using brow powder for these beauty shoots. I don't wanna have any hard lines. If we were to fill in her brows really strongly, it would be really noticeable. It would not complement the theme of the shoot, and I think it would be a little bit harsh on her for this shoot. So going in with brow powder and just making sure to take a little bit at a time, blend in that brow powder, brush it in as I go, and really only use brow powder where she needs it, not give her a whole new brow. I'm priming Cleo's eyes with a MAC primer. This is something you should be doing with your bridal clients, of course. For deeper skin tones, I love prepping the eyelid because I find the shadow shows up more true to color. And I also really like layering product like this for beauty shoots. I find everything just photographs well and shadows photograph well, and you can actually see the makeup on camera, which is important when you are doing a beauty story. So I'm slowly going in with just a lighter color all over the lid, and I'm pressing that on because her foundation is already done. I don't want to get too sloppy. Basically, the idea with this eye makeup look is to make her eyes stand out in the photo, but I don't want the eyeshadow to be the focus. So I'm using tones that are very natural and muted. I don't want the shadow to overpower the rest of her face, but I do want to make sure I have enough shadow so that her eyes stand out in the photo and balance everything else that's going on. I'm finishing off this really simple eye makeup look with some highlighter just under the brow and on the lid. I want to make sure that because we're doing such a simple eye, there is a little bit more dimension to it on camera. And I also want to make sure that the eye works with the finish on her skin. So I'm going to probably go back and use the same highlighter on her cheek as well, so everything looks similar on camera. After seeing Cleo with eyeshadow and with her brows done, I do feel like this makeup needs a little bit more in terms of definition and bringing out her cheeks. So I'm going in with the Makeup Forever sculpting powder and just gradually intensifying the shape and contour of her face. Moving on to blush, I spoke about layering blush is something I love to do for deeper skin. And when I am doing a beauty story, depending on the look that I'm shooting, I find layering blush using a powder over a cream is something that just shows up better on camera. Then I'm gonna add highlighter, but I'm being very careful with this. When you are on a photo shoot, you have to make sure that you don't over highlight. Highlighter can sometimes read as being oily on camera. You can always go in and add more once you start shooting. I want to bring more warmth onto the skin, so I'm adding a warmer tone blush. Curling lashes, be very careful not to pinch your models. I like to lift the eyelid, no sudden movements, and if you feel more comfortable with having your model curl her own or his own lashes, you can do that. going in with mascara on a spoolie, making sure I get right to the base of the lash. Because this is a beauty story, she's gonna be photographed very closely, so I don't want any gaps in the lashes. These are little details you need to make sure to pay attention to. I'm taking the tiniest amount of MAC Studio Fix powder foundation. I still feel like her skin needs to be richer and warmer, so I'm bringing in some warmth with this, being very careful because I don't want to overpowder. Brushing the brows into place with clear brow gel. Little details like the brow hairs are very important when you are shooting a beauty story. The first option for a lip for me, of course, was a nude, and I noticed that Cleo had a really nice natural pigment to her lips already, so I took a lip liner that was pretty much the same color as her lips and used that as a lipstick. To me, the finish of a lip liner, sometimes with a little bit of lip balm on top, looks really beautiful and natural on camera, so I took 8 Hour Cream and mixed it with the tiniest amount of a sheer lipstick. Here's Cleo's before and after so you can see how things ended up. And here's Cleo side by side with a picture from the magazine. On the right, this is what a great team can produce. This is what great lighting and great photography can do with your makeup application. All of the makeup that I applied is well blended. The contour and the definition that I created on her skin comes off as photographing very naturally. The lip color is not overpowering. The brows look really soft. The eyeshadow is not taking over. So with this photo, that natural, clean, modern take on bridal makeup is definitely something that we accomplished. Switching up the lipstick, I still wanted to keep it in that nude family. I knew I was going to be doing a bold lip on one of the other models, so I didn't want to do a bold lip here. And I feel like the nude tones are working really well for her, so I wanted to just take a nude and just add a little bit of depth to it. So the same idea, a lip liner first, and then going back over with that mixture of 8 Hour Cream and a deeper lipstick. That combo of lip liner, 8 Hour Cream, and a little bit of lipstick to me photographs really well. So here's our final look. Here's the final photo with the deeper lip. Because they took away the headpiece, the focus of the photo is now really on Cleo's face. You're really looking at her makeup, you're looking at her cheek, her eyes, and if we would have left that lighter nude lip, I don't think it would have looked as nice. So having a darker lip just adds a little more interest to the makeup look. Her positioning is beautiful, the lighting's great, the styling is simple enough, it doesn't overpower her face. It just is enough to suggest that this is a bridal shoot. There is so much more that I wanted to talk about with you in this video, but I think the video would have ended up being 5 hours long. There are a couple points though that I want to make sure I drive home and things that I want to leave you with before I finish this video. The first thing is that your makeup, great makeup applications, are nothing without the team of people that you're working with. You need good models, good photographers, lighting, stylists, hairstylists. The whole team matters. You can do a beautiful makeup application, but if the lighting is bad and the model isn't good and the styling's not great, the work that you're producing is not going to come out well. Building your network, finding people that you work well with, that have the same goals in mind as you, that want to work hard, that want to improve with every shoot. This is very, very important. You cannot build this network without getting out there. You need to get out and start organizing photo shoots. You're not going to work with the best of the best right away. We all start working with people who are at a similar level of experience. And when you find teams of people you like to work with, you grow together and your photos just get better and better and better. You get better models, you get better clothing, you get better photography. The team of people that you enjoy working with, you all will get better over time, and this is how you network and grow in this industry. Going into shoots with your blinders on is going to work against you. I know a lot of us buy that one lipstick, that one eyeshadow palette. We have that one look in our minds that we really want to make sure we do. If this doesn't work with what is happening on the shoot that day, if it doesn't work with the model, if it doesn't work with the wardrobe or the lighting, you need to be able to be open and adjust your makeup accordingly. This is how you're going to get the best result. In terms of how makeup looks in real life versus how it photographs, this is something you're not going to learn from one video or one photo shoot. This is part of the learning curve of being in this industry. This is learned from experience, and every time you have a photo shoot, you're going to learn something about how your makeup looks on camera. None of us start with all of this knowledge. It really is a process of trial and error, but as you saw today, when you have a really great team of people that you're working with, the simplest makeup can look really beautiful on camera. You don't always need more just because you're doing a photo shoot. When it comes to beauty shoots, it's very important to train your mind and your eye to be more detail oriented. In a beauty shoot, the model is gonna fill the frame, so the camera is going to see anything that you do wrong. When your foundation is the wrong undertone, when things are not blended properly, when you have brow hairs out of place, when there is a gap between where mascara is and the lash line. The camera sees all of this. Do not rely on retouching to fix your work. Make sure you're paying attention to these details. And that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope this wasn't too long, and I will see you back here next Wednesday. Bye, everybody.